Hi, I'm Nikki Houston and head of the jewellery department at Dawsons, and I've got Neve with me because we want to discuss one of the most frequently asked questions, and that is the difference between an insurance valuation and a sale valuation. So go on, Neve, because you've worked in retail.
I have. So an insurance valuation is really a new replacement value for that item. So again, it will be very similar to a retail price, or sometimes a little bit more. Lots of different factors that will affect why it is the price it is at insurance.
Okay, so what factors are you putting in for an insurance valuation?
Well, you have your retail value, so they are taking into account all the overheads that go with selling. They have to put their markup on it. But things that don't always get taken into account with auction are the labour costs.
Yes.
So if you have a cluster ring and it's not just a solitaire, the setter will have charged for every single stone. So that will be taken into account in an insurance valuation. If you have a stone that's perhaps not standard size, they
Yes.
have to now source that stone to get the right the millimetres with that. So that will also add to the cost of an insurance valuation.
So when you're thinking of the gemstone pipeline from when these stones are actually mined from the ground, so they're then sold in the rough to the cutter, then the stone is then cut and then it is sold on to, say, a gemstone dealer, then they are sold on to the manufacturers.
Yep.
Along that line, everyone obviously has to make some money out of it.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to selling an item essentially second-hand, then all those factors are actually taken out.
They are, yes, yeah. All the overheads, like you say, are
Yeah.
taken out, and the piece is really, it's the open market value. It's the piece is valued for what it is itself.
Yeah,
So
so
it's-
you've got the stones themselves.
Yeah.
You've got the setting.
Yeah.
Then you have value added for maybe a designer.
Yeah.
There are certain names, brand names that hold more weight than others for
Antique value as well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Antique value is another thing to take into consideration, and also the popularity, fashion.
Sure.
Fashion
Yes.
is a big thing.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So all these things are taken into account, and rarity.
Yes.
Rarity is the big one, especially with gemstones. I mean, we've spoken so many times about cashmere sapphires, but
Yeah.
also natural pearls. These are really rare pieces and therefore command a huge premium
Yes.
when they're sold at auction. So all these factors are taken into account, and we set an auction estimate. So what about the reserves?
So the reserve is basically what we say we will not sell it below the reserve. The reserve is actually up to the client to decide what they want on it.
Yeah.
But by law, it has to be at the low estimate or below, and that is because we basically cannot advertise it
Yes.
for sale and then be not selling it at that price.
Absolutely. But the estimate is walking a really fine line, because we're trying to protect the client's interests by setting a suitable reserve, whilst also giving the opportunity for competitive bidding. And the fact that our sales are open to people all around the world, you will have private buyers, but you'll also have dealers. And again, each marketplace will be very different. So there'll be a different market in Switzerland to the one that is in America, for example. And that is what the estimates are there for. And the buyers themselves choose how much they're prepared to pay for something.
Absolutely, yeah. And we are basing our estimates on what people have bought it for in the
Yes.
past. Really, I would say what's more important for having the piece sell well is good photography, good cataloguing and good marketing. And that's what
Absolutely.
makes it such a good price at auction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope that's answered your questions, but if you have any other questions about insurance valuations versus auction valuations, please do contact the jewellery department at Dawsons.